Sweet. So my talk today is about gratitude beyond gifts. So let's think about that for a moment. Gratitude beyond receiving gifts. Did you know that God's will for us, each one of us, is complete happiness? My will for me is to live in gratitude. To me, it means I will expand my experience of life's events with gratefulness. I'd like to say I do that all the time, but you'll see in a minute that I don't. Gratitude to me is an energy that spreads throughout our entire being. We're full of it. When we stop and think about everything that our body does and all that how it supports us, there's nothing we have to do to make that happen, to make our heart beat, our blood to move, the whole thing. So in gratitude, we are a total unit unto ourselves. So we bless every heartbeat and every breath and every organ of our body temple. This is why in treatment, our affirmative prayer, we have a section of thanksgiving, thankfulness. We say thank you. We have each been given the gift of life. Being grateful for life is a song of thanksgiving. To me, that's what that means. It's a song of thanksgiving, appreciation, and gratitude. When we see all the moments with their joys and their challenges as blessings, anybody able to see challenges as blessings? Good. Hallelujah. We can and will transform the ordinary into blessings and small things into the sacred. This is what happens when we take everything as a blessing. God's will for each one of us is complete happiness. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions this morning. What's your will for you? What's your will for yourself? What would your day be like if every moment you lived in gratitude? What would change when you find yourself getting tense, irritable, or upset? What would change if you just stopped and gave thanks? What would happen in that moment when we each stop and give thanks and asking our upset if it has any information for us? Doesn't that sound delightful? Gratitude beyond gifts means we're willing to accept life as it presents itself to each one of us. I know this will surprise you, but the other day I got very irritated. Anybody? I'm very upset, and I would like to say that I handled it beautifully. I think Marianne handled her turkey dinner better. But I wondered in that moment that I was upset, I wondered if there was a power within me that could change those feelings. So because I was just, I don't know about you, but when I get upset, it just goes, So I began with writing all about my irritation and my upset. And when I felt done, I set aside my tablet and I decided to totally change my activity. Because you see, at that moment, I needed assistance in stopping my incessant mind chatter. Anybody? Or is it just me? It's probably just me. Or you know somebody. Yeah. So expanding my unset with my righteous mind chatter, it was absolutely exhausting. So I put my attention on something different. I watched a mindless whodunit TV show for an hour. It worked. I got so caught up in trying to figure out guess who killed who and why, after an hour I realized that I had returned to a sane mind of clarity. So this is a holy instant also that I invite all of you to use. And in that moment, I was able to take a good look at my upset and a good look at the event, which was asking me to expand beyond my comfort zone. Because you see, when we get so tied up in events and circumstances of life, I don't know about you, but I get very small. And it's me, mine, and I. No, not this group, but we know people. Okay. Because you see, clarity and gratitude is revealed when we really want things to change. If we don't want it to change, it's going to stay the same. But this is the gift, in my opinion, that we give to ourselves in this Thanksgiving, is I really would like that to change in me. Yes? Because you see, I don't know about you, but I've been doing it that way for a really long time. So making a change opens the door to infinite possibilities. And first, we have to let go of the outcome of being right. Anybody? And stop wanting to make somebody else wrong. I really had to look at that. And all moments with their joy and their challenges can be a blessing for each and every one of us. This is one of the things I discovered this last week. Because you see, we get distracted. I get distracted by those outer circumstances, those world events and conditions and situations, or somebody else saying something I didn't like. And we forget in that moment that there's a whole universe within each and every one of us. There's a whole life living and existing within you, inside of you and inside of me. A universe that brings with it peace, joy, and great blessings. It's powerful, powerful love. And that God, that the infinite holds for each one of us always. In us, as us, through us. This is what we teach here. I don't know about you, but every once in a while we forget that. And we need to be reminded. Gratitude beyond gifts means we are each open to that holy, sacred moment that is available to each and every one of us all the time. Life presents this to us, gives us that opportunity. Certainly gave me. So let's all just stop in this moment and breathe into that. Breathe into that thinking. And did you know that an elephant is a very brilliant, sensitive, majestic animal? It's calm and it never gets aggressive unless it feels threatened. However, if a bug gets in the elephant's ear, it goes totally berserk. It makes it go absolutely nuts, and they become absolutely angry and anxious. They become miserable and confused, and they become exhausted if a bug gets into the elephant's ear. Why do I mention this to you this morning? To remind each of us that when we allow bugs or being bugged to get to us, our behavior changes. Yes? So next time you get bugged or you're feeling bugged, remember the elephant. You just got a bug in your ear. It's nothing big. It just means to shift your thinking. Because if we find ourselves tense or irritable or upset or bugged, take a break, breathe, meditate. Take a walk or watch a mindless TV show. Something to change and shift our idea, our belief of what's taking place in front of us. Nothing is real unless we say it is. It's up to each one of us to take ourselves out of the conflict so we can return to something that is greater clarity, because there's a whole universe existing within each one of us. And it's ours to find, to discover. Ernest Holmes, our founder, says, if you think life is always bringing to you everything you need, you will have formed a partnership with the invisible. Hear that? Let's this season, this time, form a partnership with the invisible. And he goes on to say, forming this partnership will prosper you in everything you do. Life is not vindictive. Life is not withholding anything. from you ever. I love that quote. Think about that. Life is not withholding anything from you. Gratitude beyond gifts. So I'm going to invite us to allow gratitude to move us forward into this Christmas season. And you know, we have just 27 days until Christmas Day, symbolizing the birth of Christ consciousness. So I invite each one of us to focus our attention on gratitude for the life and for our daily living in faith and in trust that there's something greater desiring to be birthed in us in these next 27 days. And know with me that each of us are filled with an inner wisdom of love, a universal magnificence that lives at the center of our being. And this magnificence within you and within me wants only our best. Breathe into that. Gratitude moves us into an opening, preparing ourselves for the Christmas experience. I believe that. As I watched us going through Thanksgiving, and I realized what we're headed toward. We're headed toward that Christ consciousness, opening to the Christ within us. It is our hope and glory. And we've heard that. In these 27 days, I'm going to invite each and every one of us to celebrate this, to celebrate that is wanting to be birthed in us, because I believe that we are here to make a difference, to change the energy, first within ourselves, and then within our family, our friends, our community. And we have so many events at the back of your bulletin. You'll see all the December events. So I'm going to invite you to set your intentions today. Thanksgiving time. What will you be grateful for in 27 days? What gift, what presence, what ideas will you allow to awaken within you to grow from the very center of your universe, that center place in you? To be new and fresh, and to support you in this coming year. In the new year, we get to clarify that birthing into the newness of whatever you desire. What will that be for you? For me, it's a greater joy for life, a greater joy in who I am, who I choose to be in this life experience. Gratitude, gratefulness for that gives. There's so much available to each and every one of us. Because you see, in December, we rejoice in the birth of our renewal of understanding that lives within each and every one of us. And so, Reverend John, we have a discussion once a month, and Reverend John and I are going to be here. I think it's on the 15th. It's in your bulletin. And it's going to be on the Christ consciousness. There's a whole chapter in our Science of Mind textbook on Christ consciousness, and I don't think we talk about that enough. So this time that we have, the 27 days to that birthing, and then to the new year, let's make it the best we possibly can. And build a sense of renewal within our own selves. Preparing ourselves for commitment, January 1st, to being all that we are each created to be. Because it's unique, it's individualized in you and in me. 2022. What's in it for you? What's your desire? let's take the gifts of gratitude, thanksgiving, rebirth, renewal into these next 27 days. Okay, let's take that into prayer. So we give thanks in advance for all that is unfolding, all that is birthing in each and every one of us. Knowing and accepting that there's only one life, one power, one all-loving, all-nurturing presence by whatever name. I call this God, the infinite, the divine, the beloved, creator of all that is seen and all that is unseen. There's only one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, and that life is my life now. And what I know that is true for me, I know is equally magnificently true for each and every one here today. And so we open the door of conscious awareness, of gratitude and thanksgiving, of renewal and rebirth and refreshing into that sense of greater that is desiring to be expressed in and through and as each and every one of us. And we let go of old beliefs and old ideas so that we can arise in the birthing of the new for each and every one. Allowing our heart to guide us through this process of these next 27 days. And we do so with a conscious awareness that with God all things are possible. I know and accept where there is a need for a healing. I call forth that miracle working power of God to renew and refresh our physical bodies, our spiritual bodies, and our etheric bodies. One body. This is what I know to be true. And greater than what I can speak in words, I know is already taking place in the mind of God, and I trust the divine in every sense of the word, in my life, and in your life, and in the life of all the hearts of the world. I know that